On this week's call, we actually have a friend of mine, Marie Leonard, with us that is a cold email marketing guru. She's been doing cold email marketing for a long time and has a system down pretty pat with it that she's getting really good success rates with it. Now, I wanted to bring her on the call here tonight, and I'm gonna ask her some questions, and she's gonna give us, her responses and tell us about how she's handling cold email marketing. So with that said, I want to introduce to you guys Marie Leonard. Like I said, a friend of mine that I've known for several years now. I first met Marie, I guess about 4, maybe 5 years ago through another marketing friend that we had in common, and we were both going to his webinars. And I got familiar with Marie and got on her mailing list a long time ago, and just been kind of following her along in her progress and what she's been doing in her business. And if you guys remember, one of my training sessions from last year was actually based on a video that Marie made. I took the video that she created and turned it into a lesson that I gave you guys last year. So she has some really good content. She has some really good perception of how to do online marketing and email marketing. And that's why I wanted to bring her on the call here tonight. So with that said, let's bring Marie on. And first question I have is I want Marie to tell us a little bit about herself. So Marie, welcome to the call. And if you would just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Rick. I didn't realize that we had known each other for so long and that you'd been on my list that long. So how time flies when you love what you're doing. And, I just love online marketing. Years ago, I was a practicing nutritional counselor and I did massage. I was into the health field, and what interested me in coming online was to create a website and get people interested in what I was doing. And of course, like many, many thousands of other people, I had joined an MLM company where I was introducing my health products and all the good things that it did for everyone. So that was my first initiations to online marketing. And being a real techie head, I love to do the technical backsides of see how things work. I'm the one that started creating my own websites. I'm sure many of you do with WordPress, except I did it a little differently. I went right into the HTML code to decipher all of that. But over the years, I've learned a lot that way, and it has helped pave the way to a much nicer income that I'm getting now because I'm being hired by some pretty high up marketers up there that need help in video producing and editing and that kind of thing. So on top of what I'm doing for myself personally, I'm also, I do take contracts for other marketers that are interested in branding themselves and that type of thing. So other than I'm also, you might hear the accent in my voice, I'm Canadian, I'm French. Snow is -30 and 2 feet right now, so no thank you. I have family in Gulfport, Mississippi. My daughter lives down there. I'm a brand new grandmother, second time around. And this is where I'm spending my winters from now on.
All right, that's great. Thanks for that, Marie. Can you tell us a little bit about your primary business focus and what you've been doing over the last few years? I know when I first started following you, you were like me, you were following another marketer and trying to do his business model, but since then we have both left him and we've both developed our own business models. And can you tell us a little bit about what your primary business focus is?
Yeah, what my primary focus is in lead generation and list building. We've heard how many thousands of times that the money's in the list. Well, it is and it isn't really. You can have huge lists and not make a dime. And I know marketers who have very small lists in the 2,000 range who are very, very, their list is very active. So it's the content that you're providing, what people need, That's where it all starts. And of course people say, well, how do we reach these people? Well, there's traffic methods. Of course, we all know about traffic methods. And one way to get traffic is to use cold email marketing. Many years ago, about 6 or 7, I started the cold email marketing market, not knowing that that's really what it was called back then. And I couldn't find any help or anyone to really show me how to do it. So I started on my own, and through trial and error and losing 2 hosting accounts and getting banned, I really learned a lot doing that. And that's basically how I started building my list. And it's a very targeted list to the lead generation niche. So all of my online content basically is geared toward list building and lead generation. That would be my primary business focus, basically.
That's great that you should mention that, Marie, because last week in our training, I told everybody about the story of how I got started trying out co-reg and cold email marketing and the mistakes that I made. And I was one of the people that didn't know anything at all about what to do with it. And that, like you said, there wasn't any kind of training available. You find a few PDFs here and there, people telling about how, they've had great success, but they don't really go into any detail telling you, how to actually effectively and safely use it. And I was one of those people that I actually bought an email list from eBay. I believe it was eBay I got it from. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was eBay. And I was on a dial-up internet account, and I was just flailing away, firing emails out at that using my Outlook Express. And after about an hour or so, I got a call from my ISP. They disconnected me offline. They called me and wanted to know what the heck I was doing. So that was the wake-up call that I had, that I didn't know what I was doing. And since then, I kind of stayed away from it until I got back into it a little bit, like I said, about a year ago. So, like I said, last week we went over a really basic training, and we wanted to talk about how to safely and effectively use co-reg leads and cold email marketing. And like I said, I know you've been doing this for quite some time. Could you tell us a little bit how you've been doing with this and the kind of success that you've had with it over the past few years?
Well, first of all, because I'm in the lead generation business, I give away software that collects emails from the net. You can search by keyword, that type of thing. So what happens? The next step is for these people, they come back to me and say, well, Marie, how do I send out these emails? I tried to get into Aweber, but they won't let me upload my list. I've tried iContact and GetResponse, and no one wants to allow me to upload my list. Well, this is the reason why I decided to create this membership, was to actually teach people how to really do it well. Because now with the CAN-SPAM Acts and all the restrictions that are being put on emails, you look at it sideways and they consider it a spam. There are ways of doing it properly so that at least you're not flagging the spam bots. There's no guarantee it will reach the inbox. No one can guarantee you that, not even an Aweber and GetResponse and those companies. They cannot guarantee that email will reach there. There's more likelihood it will with those types of companies because they've been in business for so long, so they've established a reputation that will help your email get there. But, like I said, you cannot use purchase lists or lists that you've collected emails from using a software. So years ago I was introduced to another emailer, which is the same as the one that I am recommending now. And the way that it was being done then hasn't really changed. What has changed, of course, are the restrictions that are being put on how we... If you're in Canada, I would suggest stay out of cold email marketing. That's why the lists that I make available are strictly U.S. based. Right now, Canada has come out with some very, very strong laws, that they will pursue you, and you're not going to be liking the results. But in the U.S., they haven't taken it to that degree yet. There are, if you set up your email properly with the correct requirements that the CAN-SPAM Act is asking of you, then yes, you can use cold email marketing. Now, as far as the results that are happening, you hear it all the time. One person out of 100 will see the results. And that has not changed. I have proven this over and over again. If you're sending out 1,000, one person out of 100, be happy that 10 people are actually opening up your email. But first of all, when you're sending something like that using an emailer, there's going to be some bounces, soft bounces, hard bounces. Soft bounces are bounces that are emails that have rejected your email, like email providers have rejected your email because of content. Doesn't mean the email is bad. It's just the email provider is looking at your subject line and the content of the email and saying, I think this may be spam, so I'm not going to even bother putting it in the spam box. I'm just going to reject it right out. As far as hard bounces, that's very easy. That's just a dead email that no one is using anymore. And no matter what list you get, you're going to have hard and soft bounces. But what's really interesting is I've had instances where I've sent out 5,000 emails. Half of those were hard and soft bounces. And so that means I only reached maybe 2,500 people out of those 5,000. And how many went in their inbox? Nobody knows. How many people are interested in the topic that I sent out? Nobody knows. But I've had 5, 10, 14% opt-ins. So it all depends who you're reaching out to, and it's the numbers. You need the numbers to really get some traffic to your offers. Also, the climate has changed. People are smarter about what ends in their inbox. The direct offer, that no longer works. People want to learn about something. They want to make sure that it's valuable to them, that it's something that they can actually use in their life. So whenever you send out something that is strictly an offer for buying something, 99% of the time you'll never have anyone open that email up. Right now, with all the changes Google has gone through, Hummingbird and Listen Bird and that bird, it has changed how people, use the internet, because what Google's interested in, content. So the new strategic way of doing an email now, and at the time that I created my course, I didn't mention that at the beginning, but I do mention it at the end. You now set up something that will take people to information rather than an opt-in page. There's nothing that says you cannot have an opt-in on that page. Let's say you send them to a blog post, something that's really, really informative about whatever niche topic you're talking about, and you're getting people to visit that page. Well, if they find that your content is really interesting, they're going to want to log in and exchange their contact information, make your opt-in attractive enough by, again, offering something for free is always works. But you're not taking them to strictly an opt-in page. Go directly to something of value that they can take away. And several times that if you keep emailing them on a regular basis, and that's part of the strategy that I have in my course, is how to do that so that they will, get on your list, because that's your goal. You want people to get on your list.
Awesome, that's great. And I'm glad that you mentioned the Can Spam Act that Canada enforced last year. The U.S. has had a Can Spam Act since I think 2003 or 2004, but then Canada came out with their own version of it last year, and it was actually brought up in, I don't know if it was brought up in one of my Monday night calls, but I think for sure one of my Wednesday night calls it was brought up for sure about how to handle emailing people that were in Canada. So I'm glad you talked about that because that is a subject that has come up before that, not being a Canadian, I didn't really have a definitive answer to it. So, in talking about cold email marketing and people just getting started, Marie, what kind of advice would you give someone that wanted to get started, and what would be the proper steps they should take to use cold email marketing safely and effectively?
So someone just starting out wanting to use cold email marketing, I would tell you to not start unless you have a full sales funnel set up. And by that, I mean you have content that is valuable that people are going to want. Anything else really will not work. It used to work. It doesn't work anymore. You're going to be wasting your money if you don't have that sales funnel in place. And a sales funnel could be just a few pages of information. It doesn't have to be a full blog, let's say. It could be one page of information that you're really setting it up, let's say, as a blog. Have a page set up like that. You're setting up, let's say, a little niche site on dog training. Everybody uses that example. And on that one page, you could have how to do a specific train your dog in a specific, how to sit. And it could only be about that. And if you set it up in a format such as a regular blog of information would be, then, you're not making the opt-in form prominent in the sense of it's right in your face, sign up and I'm going to give you a free something. You're just keeping it to the side in the sidebar, but you're focusing the information so that the person takes away something that they can use. And so likely, people like to hear more about it because you can, in your opt-in form on the right, you can tease them with a subject line that will want them to sign up and learn more about specific maybe styles of dog training or whatever. I don't have a dog. But if you're starting out, you do have a sales funnel in place, great. Then using purchase lists or emails that you may be collecting from using software, and you follow a specific plan from someone who's already been there, and you will have some success. I'm not promising you extreme success because I don't know what your niche is and I don't know how good of a copywriter you are. There are so many unknowns there that it's, you cannot promise someone that they'll make money at what you're doing. If you ever are following a marketer that is promising you that, then I'm sorry, get out. And that was one of the reasons that I left that specific marketer Rick was mentioning earlier, because he was so full of hype and it did not sit well on my shoulders to be talked to and trained in such a fashion. So that's why the main reason I kind of launched on my own. The other piece of advice I would say would be if you haven't got a good back end to your funnel set up, then get with someone that knows how to set that up and get some help. It doesn't have to cost a lot and it doesn't have to take a lot of time to do this, but if you're really serious about making money online and not just dabbling and having it as a hobby, then you're going to have to put out a little bit, because you do need to learn. We cannot know everything. Just today, doing what I was doing with my new launch. First thing on the bat, problems. Thought I had everything ironed out. I didn't. So there's all kinds of little things that happen all the time, and you have to go to the people that know how to resolve those things. I guess that's the main thing. You have to plan what you're going to be doing. So let's say let's assume that you have a good sales funnel set up. All right. So now what do we do? You're going to sit down with a piece of paper and you're going to say, okay, where am I going to take these people to once they sign up on my list? Because getting them to sign up on your list is only half of the battle won here. You have to know where you're going to take these people and what kind of emails you're going to be sending these people to keep the interest so that they do not get off of your list. And you have to also, you have a product that's your end goal, of course, is to have them buy from you. And all of these things have to be laid out. I had pieces of paper flying around me for the last month with circles and this, if they did this, they went there. If they didn't do this, they went there. You have to have it all out. And it may sound crazy, but by planning it properly, then you yourself will feel sure that you're not taking people on a wild goose chase, that you're actually going to be showing them the best way to achieve what you're trying to show them to do. So, planning is number one. If you've got that down, then of course you're going to need to know how to write, because you have to attract them, subject line, and of course the body of your email, which is really not as important as the subject line, because that's what's going to get them to open the email. And the message should be very short. Some people write tons and tons. You could read a book. And it's a first contact like that. There should be no more than 2 or 3 sentences on that page. When you get them in your list, that's another story. There you can write your book. So, knowing where you want to go, expressing it so that it fulfills the need of the people you're reaching out to, and taking them where you want them to go. Those are the 3 main things that you really should be focusing on.
Great. Thanks for that, Marie. In talking with you over the past month or so, and you actually started a brand new, I guess, autoresponder series that I got on, that you did a little bit of primer training for some cold email marketing. I think you sent out like 3 different PDFs that, gave us a little primer training on it. And I know that this week, and in particular today, you're actually launching a new training in cold email marketing. Could you tell us a little bit about what your training has involved in it and what to expect from it, so that our listeners know, what to expect if they should decide they want to get into cold email marketing?
Okay, so yes, like I said, the last month I've been busy putting together my new membership site, which is focused on cold email marketing. It's easy to send out emails, but who do you send them out to? Well, we need leads to do that, and that's why I'm making available a total of 25,000 fresh opportunity seeker leads every month to those who are in the membership. And I have a step-by-step plan that tells you exactly how to go about sending out these emails to these 25,000 people. It's set up day by day, and the preliminary setup shouldn't take you more than maybe an hour to do. And then every day after that, maybe half an hour of your time is all you're going to need to get that set up. Because the way I have it set is you're going to be receiving 1,000 emails a week, And each day you're going to be doing a different step, which will be sending out to those people and monitoring what has been sent out. And along with that, there's a spreadsheet that I've included in there that will help you identify which emails did the best, so that when you're ready to send out to the people that have actually opened your emails, then you're going to be making use of the best of your subject lines and content that you will have done. So along with that, there's a full content library on how to create subject lines that will grab people's attention. There's also plugins that I've included in there that are little extra bonuses that are phenomenal as far as being able to actually drive traffic to your site. So I'm not into a hype. I'm not a hypey person. Yeah, if you're interested in just watching the video that I've set up on my sales page and reading on the page, I invite you to go to emaillistservices.com. Exactly the way it said, emaillistservices.com. And you'll read up everything that there is available on the site, so that new information is going to be added every month and new bonuses. And basically it's a very simple site, but it has all the steps that if you're interested in cold email marketing, there's a recommendation on a very good bulk email marketer that I use. That is not included in membership. You have to pay extra for that. And email marketing is just like any other traffic method out there to build a list and get leads. Just one of them. There are several other good methods, and of course we all know social media is really, really good and strong in bringing traffic to your offers and to your website. So this is just a small section of what else you could be doing to reach out to eyeballs that can read your offers and your value information that you're going to be sharing with.
Great. Sound like a good course. And like you said, there's really nothing out there that is comprehensive and detailed about doing this type of email marketing. Like I mentioned, you find a few PDFs here and there, and occasionally somebody will release a video that gives like a basic rundown, but nobody really goes into any detail on how to do this type of email marketing. So, I'm excited to hear that there's actually going to be something like this available to us now, and coming from someone that does have years of experience in it and has seen success and knows the pitfalls of, what you could run into and how to avoid stepping into those pitfalls to start with, and which is my main goal for doing these Monday night calls, try to help people avoid some of the pitfalls in their online marketing. So I'm excited to hear that we will actually have something like this available to us now, that if you want to learn how to expand your list building and email marketing into another direction, that you will have that opportunity now to learn how to do it the right way. Like I said, this is an area that a lot of people are interested in, and they just don't really know how to get started in it, and they make a lot of mistakes if you don't know what you're doing and you don't get the proper training. So something like this will be great for people that want to learn another method of email marketing. And it sounds like in general what you're actually doing is basic email marketing training to start with, by mentioning the subject line being the most important for getting the opens to start with, and then the content in your email to entice the person to click the links and visit your website and follow pursuit from there from what you may have offering on your website. So I'm excited to hear that that something like this is available to us now, because like I said, this is something I've been interested in. I tried it for a long time ago and didn't have any success with it, and actually got myself in a little bit of trouble with it. And last year or so, a friend of mine opened a lead generation service, and I got in on his beta testing, helping him test out the system. So every month he sends me 500 leads as a bonus for helping him test out the system. So I'm excited to actually be a part of this and join in on it myself so I can learn more about it, because list building is something that I stress strongly, that no matter what niche you're in online, you have to be building a list. To an online marketer, your list is your biggest and your greatest asset. So learning a new method for growing your list, and then getting success and response out of that list is going to be beneficial no matter which method of email marketing you're doing. And it sounds like your training is actually going to encompass some of that. So I want to thank you for coming on the call tonight, Marie, and I posted the link in the chat there so people can click on the link and go check out your page. Do you have any closing comments you'd like to give us, tips, advice, or whatever, or questions people might have in the chat there?
Yes, thank you, Rick. I really appreciate you having invited me tonight, in spite of the fact that today's my launch day and I'm having all kinds of little problems cropping up. But hey, that's life on the web. You have to live and roll over and start again. One thing that I really stand by, and that's customer support. Many top dogs you cannot reach. You can email till you're blue in the face. I make myself available. When I'm online, I'm on Skype. And my Skype is always open to my clients, even some that are not my clients. So that's one thing that I really stand by. If you have problems, if you have questions, you can reach me very, very easily. Another thing too, like I said, I don't do hype. And I've actually mentioned something in my PDF that Rick, you received, and that is, if you're interested in cold email marketing strictly to send out promotional offers, then don't bother signing up. Really, save your money, because you're not going to have any success. This is long term. It does not happen overnight. It happens with hard work. And as you heard Rick say, he's been at it for many years, as have I. So this get overnight rich thing, I'm sorry, it really does not happen. It happens only if you work hard, and all of a sudden almost seems like overnight. That's an accumulation of years and experience that will give you success that you're looking for. I wish that success to all of you who are here tonight. And if cold email marketing can be part of that for you, then I welcome you and I look forward to working with you.
Okay, guys, so there we had an interview with Marie on cold email marketing and the new services she's providing, and she gave us some great, excellent tips in addition to what we talked about last week. So I hope it was enough to pique your interest into looking into this. Like I said, she's been doing it for several years and has it down pat and knows exactly what to do and how to get success out of it. Whereas I'm still learning it myself, and it's actually something that I'm going to be following along with her through her membership to learn myself. Because as you guys know, I mean, that's one of the big things that I talk about constantly, is list management and building your list and, staying on top. You got to be constantly bringing in fresh blood into your sales funnels. So, I'm excited to be a part of this and learn this new method of list building as well myself. And I hope that, it's encouraged some of you all too to, look into this and maybe give it a shot and see how well you can do with it. And again, just like Marie said, it's not short-term, quick, instant, overnight results. And if you've been dealing with internet marketing, online marketing, any length of time, that's the truth. There is occasionally one-hit wonders that happen. Somebody releases a product and all the JVs jump on it and they're overnight success. But, it's kind of like I've said before, it happens in the entertainment industry too, where a popular group will come out with a song that's just, hits the top of the charts, but then they can't follow it up with another hit. So the next thing you know, they're faded out and you never hear from them again. That's the kind of thing that happens with overnight success. But building a sustainable online business that you can depend on and generate, consistent income does take work, and it takes a little bit of time to develop that. So, it's something that I've learned over the years. Marie's learned it over the years, and her introducing a new method of list building to us that, incorporates that same learning curve and the same principles should be exciting to all of us. And again, I want to thank Marie for coming on to the call tonight, taking time out of her launch day to spend some time with us to answer questions. And if you guys have any questions for Marie, now is the time to ask, because she's going to be busy for the next few months getting her membership site going and taking care of her members.
Okay, is there anyone that has a specific question? If so, just type it into the chat box there. One thing I forgot to mention that I did want to mention is that it refers back to the CAN-SPAM Act and the restrictions being put on everything. Right now, there is still a window of opportunity with cold email marketing. How long that will stay open in the U.S., I have not a clue. Like I mentioned before, if you're from Canada, just stay away from it. Not worth it. And being in the U.S. right now, as I said, and I mentioned this in my course, you can have some success and you will be able to build a list. There's no doubt about that. But how long that window will stay open, we don't know that, because if the U.S. adopts as strict rules as what Canada has put out, then that will put a stop to all of this. Thanks for having me on, Rick.
Okay, great. Well, guys, thanks for coming to the call tonight. Like I said, this is the second part of our series of calls about cold email marketing and co-bridge list building. But again, I want to thank you guys for coming to the call, and I encourage you, if you're interested in learning a new facet and method of email marketing, to check out Marie's site. And I want to thank you guys for coming to the call. And if you have any questions, you can email me. Marie is just like I am. She makes herself open and available to anybody that has questions. So just go to her site and you'll find out her contact information on there if you have questions for her. But I appreciate you guys coming to the call, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's interview with Marie Leonard. And like I said, I encourage you to go to her site, check out her page that she has set up that explains in great detail about her new training. And like I said, this is something that's brand new. You won't find this anywhere else. This kind of training is something that just doesn't exist, talking about this kind of email marketing. So thanks, guys, for coming. And if you have any other questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You can go to Marie's page, and she's got her contact information on there, so you can get a hold of her. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.